bring down your immune system.
Yeah.
Tremendously.
It
You
does
can
that
start
to such a
recording.
point where it completely wipes it out 100%.
So we came up the back of house through where the staff and everybody would work in. This is where people or visitors would be coming through.
I
The
see.
main entry
I
point.
see.
You check in with the receptionist,
Waiting area.
waiting,
Waiting
ICU
area.
waiting room.
And you'd asked about the heliport and parking structures. That's, there's more of it on this side of the building. You can see them all over here.
Okay. So I see. So that's the helicopter pad
Yes. So
right there.
Oh, I see.
the reason you don't have it on our building, first of all, it's expensive. That's a non-OSHPD building. That isn't necessarily considered part of the jurisdiction of the hospital. But they utilize it because that's where their ER department is. So anybody who's coming in on a helicopter is going to the ER.
Directly there.
You wouldn't get in here until you're actually checked into the hospital.
I see. And because it's local, so they fly in there and they put it on that van or emergency the ambulance,
The ambulances.
and then the ambulance will take them to here.
Mhm.
Okay.
And again, the part of the hospital you couldn't see when we were up on top is that whole building over there, which is administrative and support staff for the facility as well. Still part of the hospital.
I see.
Wow.
Okay.
How big is this whole
The
property?
campus,
Yeah.
I don't remember, I wanna say it was 28 acres or something
28
like that,
acres? Okay.
total.
Yeah, I recently went to Asia and I went to this one hospital. So what happened was the engineer that did the foundation didn't do a good job. So now the hospital is flopsided and cracks everywhere and the foundation was lifted up and
Oh, wow.
yeah, the hospital is unused now.
So you see controlled access points, because you don't want anybody just able to walk into these spaces. These are called,
Delayed egress.
excuse me, there we go, delayed egress. So if you have a key card, like a physician or
Yeah,
a nurse
you can
would,
get
you can
into it.
get into the space, you just swipe your key card.
Okay.
But, like we said, we protect for fire. So you drop out power to the building. These right here will drop, these unlock. In front of these
Ah,
elevators, they have what we call fly paper. It's not fly paper, it's fire resistant.
okay.
And what it does is it drops and sticks like a magnet to this all the way down to resist smoke to get into the
Wow.
elevators. The elevators automatically recall to a floor that's not associated with the fire, to the lowest floor it can get you to, preferably ground. But if the fire's on ground floor, it'll get you to 2, in which case you come to your map and you head to your stairwell to get out of the building.
I see.
So like I said, there's a lot of precaution put into fire and seismic.
So the steel plate will be in there.
Yeah.
And will drop down.
Yeah, it
So
when
if
there's a fire.
we
rolls down.
initiate that smoke device right there, that drops and makes a loud clank, and this paper rolls down, and it looks just like fly paper, like big fly paper.
And what's that? That's just a light.
The proximity.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
light.
yeah, just
That's
a
a
light.
light.
But that keeps the smoke and the fire from going from one floor down to the other.
And then is it just Wi-Fi?
Uh-oh.
Yes.
We don't
And
have
they use
that.
it, no, you can go through.
Not open.
They use it for the Wi-Fi, some places they'll put trackers on the
Back and go
babies,
down into
so
the-
anyone that's trying to steal a baby,
Yeah.
they can look, they know where that baby is in the facility at all time. If they go beyond the invisible fence of the wireless, it sets off alarms.
Does the hospital offer free Wi-Fi for the public? The people that
Some
Yeah, they
hospitals
probably
do.
will. Not right now, but,
Generally they do.
what's that? Oh, nurse stations.
So you have a nurse station for every set amount of patients, and this particular station's one of the master nurse stations. We've got the med gas panel that shows the status of all the oxygen, vacuum, nitrogen for this floor. This particular floor, because it's ICU, you always have a nurse here 24/7. So we also monitor the status of the generators as a secondary location to know what the status is,
Right.
whether the generators are running, was there a power outage, is there something wrong with it, is the oil low, where they've got call facilities and say, hey, you saw that light, right?
Wow.
And make sure the generators are always ready to go.
I see.
The negative pressure rooms that we saw, there's an alarm on the wall over there, so that the nurse here can hear it in case it's a lot of, there'll obviously be more noise in the facility once you get to that stage.
Yeah, you got your fire alarm panel, they'll let you know the status, it actually has a readout, and then the nurse calls system for communication in all the patient rooms. If you hit a code blue, besides the lights on the ceilings, it'll
What's a code blue?
that's the emergency call for the patient if something is something such as not breathing,
Okay.
they're
Like
they're
the-
stats are off the fence.
So, ISO rooms.
Yeah, so here's the isolation because he popped that door.
That'll switch here in a second.
Can they close it from here?
No.
That's part of the code. They're not allowed to shut them down. from here.
That way,
They
that annoying
physically
ring,
have to get here.
you know, that patient keeps bugging me opening the door too much.
I see.
You can't shut it off.
No.
And then, here, I'll do the. So, if the patient falls, they can pull the pull cord, and that's what's setting the alarm off above your
We're not
head.
tied to
see.
the facility right now, are we?
Nice.
We're not tied to their.
That doesn't go to them. It's not
It's
coded.
just here, okay.
Yeah, that's a local one. So it goes through the light, and then, so this one's showing it's this patient room, and then that zone light is for the nurses anywhere in that station.
They see it.
They look this way and they know to go.
Wow.
So anything in this hallway going off, that one goes off and lets them know to come on out.
Wow.
So you have a 1 hour wall for rating for fire, a 20-minute smoke resistant barrier for the door. But as soon as you come here to equipment storage, this is 2 hours. So you got double layers of drywall all the way around this room.
Okay. That is amazing. Wow.
Hospital responded,
Yeah, I told you.
but it wasn't good.
So it's working for the
We're
other side.
connected to the
That's good.
existing, even though they're not doing anything here yet.
Okay, that's
We're getting in
nice.
trouble.
That's nice.
Thanks,
Now,
Marty.
how's the protection for hackers?
Oh, to not get into their system?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we don't have access to it anymore because the facility's taking it over, but their IT rooms, they have a very sophisticated program. They actually had a problem with it 3 years ago here at this facility.
Oh, wow.
Where they had access to it and everybody didn't get paid. So they remediated it fairly quickly, but it's a big issue because obviously medical records are private.
Yeah.
There's a ton of financial information that goes back and forth between federal entities, state entities, and the facility, because this is a private hospital.
Right.
It's not a public, it's a for-profit private hospital. It's not like an LA County facility or something where it's, first of all, publicly funded, and second of all, you get a bunch of money that comes from the state.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
Even though this says hospital, community hospital, but it's still private.
It's anybody can come here as long as you have the means to pay.
Okay. Nice.
But you guys were pointing out items like this.
Yeah.
In the state of California, ADA requirements. You can't have anything protruding into the hallway greater than 7 inches. Those give you an exclusion to 4?
Yeah, 4.5.
4.5 on those. But it's because of anybody walking,
They hit it.
yeah, they would hit it. And if you don't want anything protruding into the corridor
Right.
that would inhibit somebody who has a disability to get through the space.
Yeah.
And
The
these are,
corridors for the patient
Yeah.
beds are 8 feet minimum width. That's why hallways are so big.
So this is 8 feet.
A minimum they have to be. That way 2 beds can pass each other at the same time.
Yeah.
because things get missed all the time, these are actually designed to be on the floor.
Uh-huh.
But this isn't allowed because you can't store combustibles in this space. That's why
Yeah.
you have storage spaces. So you can see it says very clearly, all paper goes in here, but that's a combustible, you can't keep it. These all have to be removed.
Ah.
Because nothing that could start a fire is allowed to be kept out here.
I see.
So something like that, the fire marshal won't give them occupancy until he sees all those gone. So they can have everything done. If those boxes are still there, they ain't moving it.
My gosh.
So where do you keep paper?
They have
So,
actual.
I saw
when they go through
Martin's,
the plan check
Martin
process,
Brothers.
they
Are you two
actually
Martins?
check
Martins?
to make sure you have
No.
storage rooms, you have
Martin
nourishment
Brothers?
rooms.
Oh, Martin Brothers, no, that's the framing and drywall
They're gonna
company
have to
that's
be-
out
Oh, I see, I see. So it's not your company, it's called
No,
Martin
no, no.
Brothers.
Doing themselves a
We're
favor.
our inspection.
I see.
Sometimes that extra convenience, you're just not allowed to do. And mainly because if one of these have a fire,
Our paperwork.
It just dies, it dies right there.
yeah.
Very good.
Generators?
Wow. I see the magnitude of the work you guys put into it.
Oh, yeah.
Incredible.
4
Yeah.
years.
So much work.
Shoes, the bottom of your shoes, cleans the bottom of your shoes.
It's just temporary during construction.
I see.
Yeah, there's pretty much a staff going through here mopping day and night, all the way through construction. And then after that, it gets handed over to the facility, and then their environmental staff will take care of it.
So another 3 months.
For them to occupy and see patients, yeah, probably pretty close to it.
Okay.
You can do licensing in here, the local licensing.
Well, licensing for the healthcare, but then also that kitchen. That kitchen's gotta go through the Department of Health Services, just like a restaurant kitchen would. So it has to meet their requirements as well. They have some problems right now with holes in the floor that were broken out for plumbing to go through, and they're gonna have to fix all that.
So is this the basement?
Just that ground floor, we don't have a basement.
Ground floor. Okay. This is another water filtration place. Oh my God! Wow,
We got boilers.
this is crazy. Oh my God! Is this for the water for the hospital?
Hot water boilers.
Wow. Jesus Christ. Amazing. Wow.
So they use the hot water for the heating of the building
Okay.
and all the different pieces of equipment that use water for sanitizing. It ends up being more efficient than using electrical heating units throughout the building. So there's a whole pipe system.
Wow. This is like the Titanic.
Yeah.
Jeez. Oh my gosh. Wow. Incredible.
Emergency, behind that large wall are the condensing units for the air handling. That's just cooling towers is all it is. But this is locked up right now. They don't want people accessing it
Okay.
because again, it's an emergency generator.
Incredible machinery here.
Yeah.
Wow.
The door on the other side of here, which is also locked up now, because we're considered a tall building, which is a high rise,
Yeah.
it has to have a fire pump because a pump truck can't get here and supply water to the whole building.
Okay.
So it has a pump in there, and inside that same room behind that wall is a 30,000 gallon tank full of water,
Wow.
so that they can fight a fire in this building without having the local water be accessed at all.
Oh, that's
in case
great.
there's an earthquake and a fire starts,
Yeah.
and that pipe breaks, you don't have water anymore.
Yeah.
So, again, redundant process to ensure that they have safety for the patient.
Oh, that's
You trying to break in there?
Yeah.
See over there is the bulk oxygen.
Mm-hmm.
That supplies the entire campus to include this new facility as well.
Wow.
They all have an emergency connect right there.
Yeah, that's their connection. In case of emergency, they can bring a truck right here, back up to it, and hook it to the facility and
Yeah.
provide oxygen continuously.
You know,
again, in case of a break.
There was a big news on the in Pakistan or India, something like that. They didn't pay their oxygen bill, so the company that supply oxygen cut the bill and killed like 64 children
Wow.
and patient in there.
So again, so you see the difference between the rest of the world and this,
Yeah.
United States. Here, they have to design this whole area just for an emergency connection,
Yeah.
let alone that's their actual where they provide it from.
Yeah.
You can't have asphalt here because you can't bring one of those trucks onto asphalt because there's a potential for fire.
Right.
There's a lot of different things that are required. There's a manifold that hooks to that emergency attachment that has to be verified with the state before they give an occupancy for the building. All those types
And
of
I see
things are
this is
verified.
very slanted for the drainage,
Mhm.
right? There's drainage everywhere here. Wow. Very nice. Is this used to be a restaurant or something?
No, it's a community center for acting and stuff like that.
So it's a playhouse.
Oh.
And part of getting ownership to be able to provide this space with access to build, they had to give them new sidewalks and new ramps and a bunch of upgrades to their building. Which happens pretty regularly in this business because the owner knows the amount of revenue they're going to make.
Yeah.
That's nothing for them. To have a guy do concrete for $40,000, they could care less.
Yeah. That is awesome. Wow.